Okay, welcome back to our PCM 25 career mode. In our last episode, we started the most important race of our entire series, the Tour de France 2029. And it's actually been a pretty good race for us, winning 5 stages in the process, so that's excellent. But what about GC? Well, 9 stages into this race, we're in second place on just about 2 minutes of Tadej Pogacar. And of course, our goal for this race was not actually beating Tadej Pogacar, but finishing on the podium. And so far, our gap on P4 is just over a minute, so we're looking solid. And while our multi-leader strategy did fall apart in that first week, we are still 15th and 20th with Ayuso and Pericas on 6 and 11 minutes, so through the breakaway, they can get back into GC. But first, we have to survive the second week of this race. And I must confess, I'm really terrified of stage 11, which is a cobble stage, so I could lose minutes here. Next to that, a 63-kilometer flat time trial, so not great for Finn, but pretty great for Ayuso. But I've already said this in the last episode, but the mountain stages in the last week kind of look survivable, so not too scary. So I think the second week might be more important. That said, stage 10 is a pure sprint stage, so all about Paul Magnier in the last 10k, and it looks like the final sprint is slightly uphill, so I need to keep that in mind. NSGL on Omerzel and Romeo, and I'll slowly start upping the effort. In our last few sprints, our lead out was the problem, so I gotta keep my train at the front of the peloton, and it's not exactly working, but Magnier is not in a horrible position either, so that's good. Morgado can launch early. I'm just gonna go for it. Watson in the wheel can launch right now with 1.8 kilometers to go. We've got Magnier at 1.1 right now. Let's go. Maybe too early, but I had to try. I went way too early, and Jonathan Milan is the winner of this sprint stage ahead of these boys right here, and we finish in the top 10, beaten by Tadej Pogacar in a flat sprint. Ay, ay, ay. Like, what are we doing here? 71 sprint stat, Tadej Pogacar beating Paul Magnier with 77. That is shameful. But okay, it's time to lock in because stage 11 is the notorious cobble stage, so I'm really scared. Lorenzo Finn has a mere 63 cobble stats, so we gotta defend the guy at all costs. And I really don't know if we'll be able to manage that. Okay, the stage has begun and I'm already super stressed. We've got Lorenzo Finn with a +2 on the day, so that's great. 66 cobble stat instead of 63, so that is definitely a better stat, but I gotta protect the man from the get-go, so Omerzel can do that. Like, I'm trying to compare the cobble sectors in the game with the ones in Paris-Roubaix, but I can't really see any similarities, so they might just be random cobble sectors. Anyway, let's hope they're not as difficult as Paris-Roubaix. But actually, if we look at our team, it's kind of complicated because Ayuso is really good on cobbles with 72 cobble on the day, so if Finn was not as fragile, I tried to attack with Ayuso, you know? But our team to the side, there's a 14-man breakaway up the road with some decent climbers, which is weird because, well, it's a cobble stage, 7 minutes on the peloton right now, but on those cobble sectors, I think that gap will melt. Actually, Troisville-en-Inchy is a cobble sector of Paris-Roubaix. I think it might be the first one, so yeah, this might be Paris-Roubaix, which is really scary. The peloton is now also on that same sector, and so far we're looking pretty good. We've got some punctures in the peloton by Stefan Kung and Paddy Pancher, but hopefully our team is spared. Come on, Finn, second sector now, trying to survive as much as possible, but spending some yellow bars, so I'm not liking this. Looks like Alpecin and UAE are pacing at the front of the peloton, but it's Lipovic pacing, so he's not exactly a cobble god, so he's not doing too much damage so far. Oh, no. The next sector is Havria-Wallers? Really? So the sector after that might be Trouet-d'Arenberg? Okay, I might be panicking a little bit. I feel like positioning will be super important into these sectors, so I've made a train for my team. And actually, before that sector, we've got attacks by Mess Pedersen and Thibaut Nys separately, so not the smartest activity by Little Trek, but that sector is now starting Havria-Wallers, and this is a pretty tough one, and it is actually hurting the red bar of Finn, so I have to slow it down to 75-ish on Watson for now.
12 seconds later.
Oh god, Pericas is down. Pericas is down right there together with Skelmos and so forth, so that is bad because he's not that close in GC, so it's not the end of the world. Omerzel can go to my train, and let's focus on Finn, who is out of red bar on that sector and now riding through a house for some reason, so some special activities in this stage. I don't really feel like helping Skelmos with Pericas, so I reckon I'll just stay in the wheel. Wait a second, this next sector is not Trouet-d'Arenberg, but we've got an activity by Mr. Pogacar here, and Finn's not in the wheel. Finn is not in the wheel. I need to Oh, what do I need to do here? I need to get Romeo and Omerzel to try to bring Mr. Finn back to the front. Romeo just punctured, really? Right when I say that. So it's Omerzel that needs to do it now, and I need to stop pacing with Watson to make sure I can come back with Mr. Finn. This is not going great. By the way, I'm just noticing Pogacar is now riding in the group ahead of us, but the entire team of Sam Michel is here, but Martinez is not present, so he must be behind. I'll try and wait with Watson and Morgado as well, because Mr. Finn is really suffering in this next group, completely out of yellow bars, so this is not going very well. I'm going to start to pace on. I have to go like 70 or something, because otherwise we're not going to make it. Morgado can try and protect Finn, but his yellow bar is melting, and that right there is Martinez also perishing, so I'll try to go ham with Ayuso right now at the same time as Finn is crumbling. Oh my goodness, Lorenzo Finn is completely empty right now and his entire team's leaving him behind? This was not part of the plan, guys. Omerzel, help him out, and the rest of the team should be waiting, but he's empty, so we're losing minutes right now. Meanwhile, Manier is trying to get Ayuso to the front. What a disaster of a stage. In the break, Axel Laurence is winning the stage, but I really don't care. The gaps are gigantic right now, and this is a group of Pogacar to get with. Van der Poel only as a GC rider. Jorgensen in here, so we're losing so much time with my team. Finn is so far behind, and why is Romeo and Morgado still not waiting? You have one job, and it's literally to wait on Finn. Okay, pacing 70 in this peloton with Finn. We're in the last K actually with Ayuso, so let's start to sprint with him and try and get a decent result here, finishing ahead of a lot of GC riders, but I do not know what the situation in GC will be after the stage, because Lorenzo Finn is losing so much time. And there we go, Finn finishes on 12 minutes of the winner of the stage, so about 3-4 minutes to Pogacar, I think. I am terrified to look at GC right now. It looks like Tadej Pogacar, Ayuso, Tiberi, and Del Toro all count as the same group on just about 7 minutes, and Finn finished on 12 minutes, so that's a 5-minute time loss. I reckon I'm not even in the top 5 anymore. Oh, that is brutal. 9th and 10th in GC now with Ayuso and Finn on 6 minutes 30 of Tadej Pogacar, so this is an absolute disaster. I reckon the only way to get back on the podium will be the breakaway in week 3. Anyway, time for a calm sprint stage. Actually, looking at the last 5 kilometers of this stage, it's up, down, and up to the finish line, so that fits Manier because, well, he's a versatile sprinter. Anyway, 22 kilometers to go, and the breakaway is right there about to be caught, so that is definitely under control, and my team's looking pretty good. I'm losing Omerzel pretty early though in the lead out, so 4 riders left with 11k to go. That is not exactly perfect, so let's at least get Omerzel out of the way. Now into the downhill towards the flat section before that first of the 2 bumps, so 99 on Romeo is too much, so I'll drop that down to 92, something like that. I don't want to overextend, and now going into the climb right now in this corner on 99, is that too much? Maybe, but I'll have to do it anyway. Manier is a pretty good climbing sprinter, so we can afford to do this, I think. 4.5 kilometers to go. I'm not liking this. I'll go 95 on Morgado and try to keep hammering for now, and Romeo can stop doing what he's doing, but we are doing better than the opposing teams to the point that we've got a gap on the peloton, which is great, and where's my GC riders? They're hanging about pretty perfectly, so that's nice. I'll just keep on going. 99 into the downhill, and we are gone. We are completely gone, so this is going to be a stage win. This is going to be more than a stage win. A 1-2-3 on the stage. So into the last kilometer, Watson is done. Manier can launch right now, and we're going to win by a minute right now. So a bit of a buggy finish, that's for sure. In the peloton, Mr. Finn is going to finish nicely together with Ayuso and so forth. So yeah, pretty perfect stage. Paul Manier once again on the podium for his 3rd stage win in this race. So 5 stage wins? No, 6 stage wins in total so far. And actually, I think some people lost time in GC. Yeah, that is nice. Kjelmose, Del Toro, and Philipsen are losing time here, so we move up 3 positions with both my riders into 6th and 7th in GC now. And our next stage is going to be super important. A massive 63-kilometer flat time trial, and Juan Ayuso is pretty happy about this, but Lorenzo Finn is not. I reckon Ayuso with 79 time trial can get 4th place in GC after this. There we go, the first few riders are on the road and it's a completely flat time trial, so it's gonna be super easy to pace. Just about the same effort the entire day. Our first proper time trialist is on the road, Ivan Romeo with 78 time trials, so I should be able to do pretty well here. It's such a long time trial, so I'm going 70 effort only, first time check and a first time by 20 seconds on, so that is so pretty solid start. Now the second time check, and is it first time once again? Yes, 7 seconds ahead of Söderqvist, so that's a pretty good time trialist. But I've got a feeling he might be pacing it a bit better. Come on buddy, third time check, and we have second time, so we're starting to lose time to Söderqvist now by 23 seconds. In the last 3.3 kilometers now, but Finn and Ayuso are about to start, so this is horrible timing. I'll try to switch as soon as possible, but in this downhill last kilometer, let us switch to Mr. Finn right now and put him on 70 to begin with and go back to Romeo for the final kilometer now. Let's try and spend all our red bar to the finish. Let's move up to 78, and I think we should be able to get a decent time here, but it won't be the victory. Third place at the finish on 2 minutes of Söderqvist. That gap is so much bigger than I expected. Anyway, Finn is now on the road with 74 time trials, so not too bad, but Ayuso with 82 time trials, so I'm about to cook. And to be honest, the competition of Ayuso for that fourth position is Martinez with 72 time trial and Uijtdebroeks with 73, so that's not going too well. Tiberi is actually pretty shit at time trial on PCM, 75, so I think I can pass all these three riders maybe. Okay, I paused the game right in time, but Finn is about to pass the first time check, so let's take a look, and 31st on 50 seconds, so not fantastic, but Ayuso is coming, and he's gonna do well, I think. First time by 2 seconds, oh la la! I think we need like 20 seconds on Martinez. Let's take a look, and the gap is already a minute 30, so Martinez is gone. Next up is Uijtdebroeks in the last few meters, and it's gonna be similar, so 1 minute 29 time loss. I'm loving this. Tiberi does have a 3-minute gap, but I think he's gonna lose quite a bit of time. Let's take a look at the first time check. 1:26! That's a terrible time trial. Ayuso might actually be on the podium after this. And actually, Ayuso's flying so much, he's passed Finn and is now going towards Sixas as well, so my man is cooking something up. Okay, second time check for Ayuso, and it is first time by 40 seconds. That is magnificent, and Finn is on 2 minutes 30, that is a big gap. But like I said, Ayuso is already past Martinez and Uijtdebroeks, so it's all about Tiberi now. This man needs to lose 3 minutes in today's time trial. Because well, if he does, then we are on the podium. The cat killer is crawling to the second time check, and he's going to be losing 3 minutes 37. It's done. Our brand new signing, Juan Ayuso, is slaughtering the competition. The question is, can we take the stage? Third time check incoming, Ayuso crosses the line with 42 seconds on Ganna, but isn't it Söderqvist at the finish? No, Ganna beat Söderqvist at the finish by a minute, so Ganna is our competition. Descending towards the final kilometer with Ayuso, and my yellow bar is empty, but I can go 75, maybe 77 on this flat section, 85, and try and spend my red bar to the finish line on 99, and second place? What? Filippo Ganna must have done a monstrous last part of this time trial. Anyway, last stretch for Finn, he was on 4 minutes at the last time check, and at the finish he is on almost 6 minutes. That is so much time. Martinez about to cross the line, and he loses 7 minutes on today's stage, while Uijtdebroeks is also coming. Let's take a look what he loses at the finish, 6 minutes 30 as well, so also pretty bad. And I think Tiberi's time trial is disappointing too. He's gonna lose 6 minutes 14, so we got that podium. But I really thought I had the stage win as well, but no, it's second place for Ayuso, which is still fine, 42 seconds down. But taking a lot of time on my competition, so let's take a look at GC. Oh la la, not even third place, we're in second place with Ayuso, about a minute on Matteo Jorgensen and 3 minutes on fourth place, which is Tiberi, so a masterclass time trial by Juan Ayuso. And the funniest part is, a week ago in this playthrough, Ayuso was not even leader anymore because, well, we were sending him into breakaways as a satellite rider. With a solid 2 minute 23 gap to Tiberi, I think we're pretty comfortable on the podium now. And actually, Lorenzo Finn is in 6th place, but on 9 minutes, so maybe he's still allowed to go in the breakaway. Either way, we're looking pretty fantastic right now. But okay, I think stage 14 and 15 are basically similar hilly stages, so I think I'll play defensively and try to go for the stage win with Paul Magnier. It definitely won't be easy to beat Tadej Pogacar on Muur de Bretagne, but if one guy can, it's our guy. So I'm looking closely at the last 50 kilometers of this stage, and it's not just one time Muur de Bretagne, it is 3 times, so a pretty tough final. And I reckon I want to make it even harder. So actually, before we even get to that third last Muur de Bretagne, there's a steeper climb with 50k to go that I want to completely smash. And I'm hoping to split the peloton there. Okay, that climb is about to begin, and Omerzel is in a perfect position, so let's up it towards 95 as we go onto the first gradients. Romeo on the wheel to take over when necessary, and it looks like we have a very narrow road, so I'm liking this. Omerzel done for over the top. Romeo can take over on 95 and keep pushing. And now Perikas on 99 into the downhill, and that's a split. 30 seconds is the gap, but Groupama's trying to close it, so I don't think this will last. Yeah, it's closed already. Okay, our plan almost worked, but it didn't. Now it is time for that third last Muur de Bretagne, so let's get our guys in position. Perikas is pacing on 85. Steep section incoming, 95 on Perikas, and let's try and keep pushing it, but looks like Trek is also having a plan to make the race harder here, but I don't see any splits in the peloton yet. Romeo flying into the downhill, and the peloton is still completely together. Well, actually, no, the Jonathan Milan group is off the back, but he was not exactly my competition today. Anyway, 2 times Muur de Bretagne left, and our plan is failing every time so far, so I reckon I might just wait for the sprint now. In the last 3.3 kilometers, Watson on 90 right now, trying to get our team to the front. I don't want to spend too much energy too early on this climb, and Pogacar is already pacing on the right. Come on, Watson, 95. We've got Finn in the wheel with 1 kilometer to go, so let's go on 99 now with Finn. We've got everybody in our team ready to sprint, and we're launching way too late. We're launching way too late. Oi, oi, oi. That is a disaster finish. After everything I tried today, I bottled it so stupidly. That said, I do think there's gaps in the peloton. But despite the gaps, nothing actually changes in the top 10 of GC, so status quo. Now, unlike the previous stage, this one right here has a flat finish after a hilly parkour, which on paper fits Paul Magnier a little bit more. So yeah, let's try to win the stage. So of course, on this parkour, there's a lot of hills, but that second last 4th cat climb with the steep segment on it, that's the one I think where I want to speed it up. We're flying downhill towards that climb. There we go, 99 onto the foot, and Romeo is in the wheel to already take over whenever we come onto the steep section. Omerzel is almost done for. Now it's time for Romeo over the top on 99. Omerzel out of the way. Come on, team, let's try and hammer it over the top down to 95, down to 90, and let's keep going. In the last 5k, and the peloton is splitting into a group of, people are attacking at the front. People are attacking at the front. Let's go 99 with Finn. We gotta try and control this NSHL on literally everybody. I gotta say, this is super chaotic into the last 2 kilometers. I'll go all out with Finn trying to catch these attackers up front, and everybody can sprint now in the last 1.4 kilometers except Magnier, who needs to stay in the wheel of Ayuso for now, and I'll try to outsprint right now in the last segment. Come on, Magnier, try and come around, come on, Morgado? Magnier versus Lapere. Magnier versus Lapere. It's gonna be Paul Magnier taking the victory. That was pretty close in the end, but we take the win. And I reckon there's once again gaps in the peloton. Honestly, I have lost count how many stages we've won in this Tour de France, but I think Paul Magnier won 5 of them. Which means that in the last 1.5 years of his career at our team, he's won 11 Grand Tour stages, which is extraordinary. Anyway, Juan Ayuso did not take bonus seconds, but he did take time on the road on Jorgensen, 15 seconds. So if we take a look at GC, that means that our gap has expanded to 1:18. I'm actually pretty confident we can take the 2nd place home after this tour. But okay, it's once again time for a flat sprint. Like, I always have to remember that Magnier is actually not a top sprinter, so any position in the top 5 is already a great result. That said, UnoX is beating me when it comes to the lead out and track as well, so this is not going perfect. Romeo is done for, so Mr. Morgado needs to get past that man, and that is working. Watson is, let's launch with Morgado. There we go, we're in Narnia. We're in complete Narnia. Magnier gonna try and come through in the wheel of Watson here, but I don't think we're gonna get through. We're getting blocked everywhere. We're trying to get through, but the winner is Jasper Philipsen ahead of Jonathan Milan. And we finish all the way in my neighbor's garden. 12th place, that is pretty bad. It's time to go to stage 17, a hilly parkour, and it kind of looks like a breakaway stage in real life, but on Pro Cycling Manager, I'm not sure. I reckon I'll start by monitoring break formation a little bit, and if a large breakaway forms, then I might try to join with Lorenzo Finn, because, well, he's on 9 minutes, so maybe he's allowed to go? There we go, 4 riders attacking plus 5 more riders, so it's it's actually quite a bit of riders going in the breakaway. So I'll try to join with Finn right now on a full 85 speed with Watson. In the peloton, Saint-Michel is pacing behind us, so they're not too happy about Finn being up here, but it's like 25 riders by now, so good luck controlling us. The break has now come together in a group of 20 riders, and the gap to the peloton is about 2 minutes 20, where Trek is also pacing and Saint-Michel, so multiple teams. Gotta say, I'm not super confident in this breakaway. We're just about halfway the stage with 90k to go, and I'm pacing in this break with Watson to try and extend the gap to the peloton a little bit. Finn is looking good, and the gap is 3 minutes 48 right now, and still the same team spacing. Come on, Watson, keep on shredding it into the downhill on 90. We gotta keep this gap to the peloton, which is still 4 minutes at 60 kilometers to go now, so it's looking okay, but I'm not sure the break will win yet. On the fourth last climb, and I think this will be the moment we say goodbye to Watson in this breakaway, but fantastic work by this man. Finn is still looking relatively fantastic, so okay, let's finish this. Oh, looks like a split in the breakaway, and I'm in it, so that's nice together with Tijmen Graat, 2 riders off the front, and 2 climbs left to come, and the gap to the peloton, by the way, is 6 minutes now, so this breakaway is winning. Come on, guys, I need some Group 2 syndrome behind me. Please, no cooperation, but my gap remains 20 seconds onto the second last climb, so let's up it towards 90 on this climb and try and drop Tijmen Graat. The gap is now expanding to 35 seconds, so we are riding away 95 into the last kilometer, and I think Tijmen Graat is on the ropes. Actually, no, he's attacking me for the KOM point, so this might actually be a battle between us. Roughly 23 kilometers left in the stage now, and it's just the two of us, Tijmen Graat and Lorenzo Finn, with 46 seconds on that second breakaway group, so this is actually gonna be a close one because my yellow bar is not looking too good. Now descending into this final climb, and I want to try and drop Tijmen Graat, so let's attack here, and it looks like he's on the wheel. I don't think I'll be able to drop him. Yeah, over the top, and we are still together, and when it comes to our sprint, he's actually a little bit better, so I don't like this. In the peloton, I've accidentally dropped all my domestiques, but I'll try and follow a GC rider in. Can I click on him? Yes, Pogacar in the peloton to make sure Ayuso does not lose any time. But okay, last 3.5 kilometers, and it's a 1v1 with 1:30 on the next group. So let me try and get into the wheel of Tijmen Graat and try to magically outsprint him. Oh, I can't get into his wheel. I have to pace for GC. I have to pace for GC, and I launch right now with a kilometer to go. Can I beat Tijmen Graat for the stage win? He tries to come around, and he's gonna beat me. Tijmen Graat wins the stage, and we do gain just about 3 minutes 30 in GC, which is fantastic for Finn, but I would have liked the stage win. And by the way, in the peloton, we are finishing in this group, so that is perfect for Ayuso. No time loss. But I think the silver lining of this defeat is that Lorenzo Finn will gain 2 minutes 55 on the GC riders, so should move up in GC. And actually more than one position over Rafferty, over Tiberi into 4th place, just 1 minute of the podium now. And of course, with Ayuso in 2nd place, this means that we might be able to get both riders on the podium by the end of this tour. And of course, what is better than podiuming the Tour de France? Podiuming it twice. Okay, stage 18 is a mountain stage, but it's only got one HC mountain in the middle of the stage. Mont Ventoux? What? Gotta say, I didn't see that coming. And I don't really know why, but the game considers Paul Magnier the favorite for this. Anyway, I might go in the breakaway, I might go for GC, I might go for a Magnier sprint, I really don't know. So, the stage has begun, 7 riders in the breakaway, and Mont Ventoux is coming pretty soon, but I'm actually gonna take it on pretty passively from the peloton, focusing on a sprint for Magnier. That is my plan. The break is now on Mont Ventoux, 21.7k at 7%, a brutal climb, but the gap is only 2 minutes, so they are definitely not winning. Visma is pacing a little bit, but my focus is on keeping Magnier in this peloton. That said, I have to keep track of this guy at the front here, Jonathan Milan, because I obviously want to drop him, but I don't think that should be a problem on Mont Ventoux, you know? Well, actually, halfway the climb, this peloton was crawling up the mountain, so Pedikas is gonna start pacing on 85. We'll try to keep Magnier in this peloton, but I need to drop Milan and Philipsen. There we go, Jonathan Milan is out of energy and is dropping off the back of this peloton, so that's exactly what I needed. Which means I can slow down a little bit to 75 maybe to the top. Oh shit, I dropped myself, Pedikas, please stop pacing, and we gotta bring back Magnier now, and that has worked, so okay. Short moment of panic there. Ay, Magnier is dropping in the final kilometer out of red bar, out of yellow bar, so I'll try to keep Omerzel and Morgado with him as long as possible, so maybe I can come back in the descent. There we go, go over the top, and the gap is only 1 minute 30, so I should be able to bring this group of Magnier back to this peloton relatively fast actually. So let's take a look. 1 minute 20, that's doable. Just about halfway to descent and we are back in the peloton, so let's get our boys to the front and start focusing on catching the breakaway, which is 3 riders, and that includes Scaroni, Onley and Ryan. In the last 4K and the breakaway has been caught, it's now a lead out for Mr. Magnier with Ayuso and Finn doing so. So my GC riders, Finn's looking pretty fantastic, and I don't know what our competition is in this sprint, but I reckon we'll be fine. Ayuso is next and we should be able to win this relatively easily now. Come on, wait a second. Why was Ayuso not sprinting? Because you can only sprint in the last kilometer on a mountain stage. That is so stupid. Magnier launches now on the right side, but Magnier is gonna win this with ease, or is Wenzel coming around? Nah. Paul Magnier takes his 6th stage win, I think, in this Tour de France, which that's a crazy number. Now, I don't know if the fact that I could only sprint with a kilometer to go is a bug in the game itself or in the fantasy variant of the Tour de France I'm riding, but it definitely tweaked the results in my favor because the other sprinters were not ready. But hey, a victory is a victory. And of course, nothing changes in GC, so second on 3:55 for Ayuso and 4th on 6:13 for Finn. That is 1 minute of the podium only for Finn. But while I kind of want to join the breakaway with Finn to try and hunt for that podium, I don't believe it's possible on this stage. I think stage 20 is better for that. This kind of looks like a peloton going for the victory. And of course, that means Tadej Pogačar is the favorite and will play defensive. Actually, quite a lot of riders going in the breakaway to the point that I'm kind of jealous of not being in it myself, but I said that I would stay in the peloton, so that remains my plan. Looks like there's 2 riders in the break that are in the top 10 of GC. First of all, Skjelmose in 8th place on 10 minutes, and also Philipsen, so a teammate, on 10 minutes as well in 9th place, but I'm not too scared of that. It looks like EF is pacing right now in the peloton, which didn't expect that. It is quite funny that both those GC riders are dropped from the breakaway, but their teammate Thibaut Nys is pulling in that front group like he didn't just drop his GC riders. That is some brain-dead racing. Anyway, in the last 40 kilometers and the original breakaway has been caught by the peloton, a new breakaway exists with AJ August, but he's now 13th in GC, so not a danger anymore. The gap is only 2 minutes, so the peloton will most likely win, especially because the last climb is actually super steep. I won't lie, I'm actually a bit scared of it. On the second last climb now, and we have attacks by GC riders, Sixas, Uitebrooks and Rafferty up the road, and no response by Tadej Pogačar. We've got lots of other riders responding though. I'm simply chilling in this group because the last climb is so hard that I don't really want to spend any energy on this one. That said, Rafferty is not too far behind in GC behind Finn, so this is not great either because the gap on top is about 1 minute 20 to the peloton, but Saint-Michel is pacing here. And halfway to descent, Saint-Michel is actually catching them, so thank you very much, Mr. Martinez. But okay, the final climb is starting as we speak. It's 8 kilometers in total, but the last portion is super steep. I'm not gonna go 85 from the get-go, 75-ish is fine. Well, actually, under 5k to go and plenty of energy left, so this is not looking that selective so far, and no attack by Pogačar so far. But now Matteo Jorgensen is going, and that is a bit scary, so let's up it towards 87 on Ayuso and make sure they don't get away if possible. Okay, UAE Team Emirates has controlled that attack of Jorgensen. Pogačar is now starting to pace. I'm trying to go 90 right now on Ayuso because I need to move up, otherwise I will be losing time. Jorgensen already out of red bar, I'm not, and Finn's actually looking better than Mr. Ayuso at the moment. Last 1.4 kilometers and I'll just keep going 88, something like that. I should be able to pass Jorgensen pretty soon. In the final K, Finn can now go by himself, try to pass Jorgensen on the road, and we will finish perfectly in that second echelon of GC riders, but Tadej Pogačar wins on Rizul. Not exactly a surprise. I'm just happy I did not lose any time today, and a pretty perfect finish for both Finn and Ayuso. So that means we are still in second place and 4th place in GC with Finn 1 minute behind the podium going into stage 20, which is the final mountain stage. And while the stage has massive mountains like Col Saint-Martin and Turini afterwards, I feel like this is gonna be a breakaway stage, so I'll try to put Finn in the breakaway breakaway. But of course, not just for the stage win, to try to get onto the podium. So the race starts with a downhill, so my plan is to have Watson pace that downhill to make sure no attacks go away, and I'm already too late for that because Skelmos is already gone. That said, it's only 5 riders, so I expect more riders to attack the second we hit the foot of that first climb. So that's also my plan, by the way. I want to attack there. The climb is about to begin in that corner, so there goes my attack with Watson, Perikas, and Finn. Let's go! As expected, Watson is dropped, but my 2 riders, Perikas and Finn, have made it to this breakaway, so that's nice, and we finally have some more attacks in the peloton, so that's kind of what I was hoping for. Because the peloton keeps on pacing, lots of riders are starting to drop in this breakaway, which I don't like. It's down to 5 riders only now. Oh, now Perikas is dropping as well in the last 1 kilometer, so that's not good at all. I've got Finn in a group of 3 now with August and Mas, but the gap to the peloton is now a solid 2 minutes, so it's gone up. We are getting dropped now by the 2 riders up here, but let's try and merge together again and start working on... I don't want to work too much in the downhill because, well, I want to recover my energy, you know? Now going into the second climb of the day, the Col de Turini, we've got our 3 riders still up the road and then Perikas in a second group together with Pare Pantre. I'm going to try and climb a bit faster on the climb now with Perikas to try and get back to the front, but in that breakaway, the gap is only 1:50 now to the peloton where we have who pacing? EF or the team of Jaco? Uiterbroeks does not want this breakaway to go apparently. Anyway, Perikas is back in the breakaway, so let's try and put him on protection duties around Finn right now, but there comes an attack by AJ August, so let's try and slowly but surely close that down. Halfway the climb, and there we go, AJ August is back in the group. Perikas is done for though, but Mr. Finn is gonna keep on pacing to the top of this climb because I need the gap to the peloton to expand. It's only 2 minutes at the moment, so virtually I'm already on the podium with Finn, but we gotta keep that until the finish line, you know? Enric Mas is also getting dropped in the breakaway, so we're down to Mr. August and myself now. Let's try and relay on 80 and work to get it to the top. In the meanwhile, I'm trying to keep one eye on Ayuso, but he seems perfectly fine in the peloton. Over the top of this climb, the gap is 2 minutes 15 now to the peloton, but it's not exactly a downhill already, so I gotta keep pushing for now. But in the actual descent now, we're looking pretty much fantastic. Still a gap of 2 minutes and fully recovered when it comes to our yellow bar. Still 2 climbs to come though, so this race is not over yet. It's so funny because these 2 guys were massive enemies at the Giro d'Italia, but in this race at the Tour de France on stage 20, they're the best teammates ever. The Col de Braus has begun, the second last climb 10 kilometers at 6.5%, and we are relaying 85 with AJ August, and the gap remains 2 minutes 05. So let's see what happens in this peloton in terms of tempo. It is simply Jarno Widar pacing for Matteo Jorgensen, but there comes an attack right now by Paul Sixas, and he's going solo, which he's not a competitor of mine. He's like 8th in GC, so I don't care too much, and now he's out of red bar, so maybe not the smartest man in the world. In the last gate to the top, now we have to watch out because Mr. August wants to go for the KOM points, and I need to stay in his wheel over the top, so let's do that if possible. Yes, indeed, and let's start relaying 85 into the downhill. The gap is still 2 minutes. Now the final climb is starting, and it's a pretty short one, so I think I can go 88 on this climb and keep working together with August. I know it's kind of boring that we're not trying anything with Ayuso in the peloton, but we're literally 5 minutes behind Pogacar in GC, so there's no point in doing so. Gap is under 2 minutes now, down to 1:50, so keep on pushing, Finn. Let's be ready to follow August 20 attacks for the KOM points. Not yet, not yet, not yet, and he's actually not going to, so I'm gonna steal them away from him. I'm so evil. But the rest of the stage is basically all downhill, so I'm gonna full on attack until the finish line because our gap on the peloton behind is 2 minutes and Jorgensen is a single minute ahead of Finn in GC, so we are virtually on the podium and I want to finish this. The question is, can I drop AJ August by attacking in this downhill? It's not really working so far, so our man is stuck on our wheel. In the last 2.8 kilometers and I'm going 99, I'm probably giving away the stage win like this, which is not the smartest thing to do, but I also simply want to get that third place in GC, so I don't care too much. There goes Finn against August, and August is gonna take the stage win. That's fine for me because we have a gap of 2 minutes on the peloton behind, which means that we are gonna have a beautiful second and third place in GC because Ayuso is also finishing safely in the peloton here. What a nice final stage, by the way. Well, actually, it's not the final stage because there's one more left. Let's be honest, if I played it better, I probably could have won that stage, but I was so focused on getting that podium that I simply didn't care. Because, well, this is what I wanted. Pogačar is gonna win this Tour de France, but Juan Ayuso is gonna finish in second place and Lorenzo Finn in third place, and they're actually close to each other. But you know who's not close? Matteo Jorgensen after the stage. The gap is over a minute, so I feel pretty secure in that second and third position. I don't think I'll be losing that on the final hill stage. Although this final stage looks pretty fun, kind of reminds me of the final stage of a Paris-Nice, I'm afraid that it's not hard enough to get a 1 minute gap on my two GC riders, so I feel safe. But I do want to try and win this stage with Paul Magnier maybe. Like, I assume there's no way UAE Team Emirates will allow Omerzel and Finn to go in the breakaway, right? Because Finn's now third in GC, but the gap's still 5 minutes, so I'm hoping that he somehow is allowed to go. Really? UAE Team Emirates? You're allowing me to go in the breakaway with the third rider in GC? I'm okay with it. What is happening? I'm literally cycling through buildings right now at the start of the stage, so this is definitely a little bit sketchy. Okay, there's now a split in the peloton, but Ayuso is in the first spot of the peloton. UAE is shredding it in this group to try and catch the breakaway, so they're seemingly not that happy about Finn being in the breakaway and are pacing after all. I'm sorry, but Tadej Pogačar is pacing himself now in the peloton? Why is he doing this? This makes no sense. 8 riders up the road and Tadej Pogačar is pacing. Is it because the entire team of UAE Team Emirates right here is empty? I think it might be. He's literally sprinting to the wheel of this breakaway right now to close it, but I'm gonna keep on pushing up there. I don't want this man to bring the breakaway back. I want him to empty himself. Okay, Finn has been caught, so I'm gonna keep on pacing for a bit, but now I'm gonna go to the front and I'm going to put Romeo in the wheel of Ayuso, Magnier in the wheel of Ayuso, Morgado as well, everybody in the wheel of Ayuso, and I'm gonna try and attack away on this next climb with Ayuso and the rest to try and put pressure on Mr. Pogačar if possible right now. Can I do it? There we go. We've got ourselves into the attack and he's now in our wheel, so this is low-key funny. We're putting this Tour de France upside down. Ayuso is now solo attacking and Pogačar is trying to get Philipsen to close it for him and Philipsen does it. So this is all useless because all these other people are willing to help Tadej Pogačar for no reason at all. That's kind of sad. But of course, the great thing is that every single UAE rider is actually dropped from the peloton, so Mr. Pogačar is completely isolated to the point that I will attack him in the final of the stage. Just about halfway the stage and this climb right here is happening, the Côte d'Aspremont, 7k, 7%, and I'm gonna try and surge right now with Romeo on 91, not necessarily to make a gap yet, but I will attack afterwards with my other riders. Okay boys, Magnier's at the front, goes on 99 full on attack, and my train is in the wheel. That is perfect. We've got Magnier going on 99 at the front now, and he will keep on pacing. Morgado can switch because my train is falling apart. We will have... I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. What is the order of my riders here? Morgado is at the front, so that's great. He can go to the back of that train. Watson is dropped, so he can drop towards the group behind. And Tadej Pogačar is now pacing by himself, so we'll try to hard pace with Pericas, and Magnier can go on automatic, so can Morgado. We've got a gap of 20 seconds on Pogačar, who is pacing by himself. But once again, they're back onto our wheel, thanks to Mess Pedersen actually, so that's a bit sad. Pericas can stop, and I'll try to attack over the top with Ayuso and Finn right now, and Pogačar is trying to respond by himself again. Let's do relay on Ayuso. Finn, buddy, get to the wheel. Finn, get to the wheel. We gotta stick together. We got to stick together. And Tadej Pogačar is trying to close us down to the top right now. This is so funny. This is so funny. Finn is caught, so he can stay in the wheel of Tadej now, but Ayuso can keep on pushing. But in that same downhill, all three of us are together, so is Pogačar willing to relay with me on 85 or something? I don't think so. I'm gonna try and attack once again with Mr. Ayuso, and Finn can sit up in the wheel of Pogačar again, but once again Pogačar goes ham to try and close us down, but I'll keep on pushing. I'll keep on trying with Ayuso. But at the foot of this next super steep climb, 74%! That segment was 74%! That is crazy, but these two boys are not letting each other go. Pogačar stays in the wheel of Ayuso, and there's 65 kilometers left in this stage. Over the top of that climb, and the gap is down to 15 seconds, so I don't think this is going anywhere. I'm gonna try and put myself on relay 65 and try to recover as much as possible in this downhill, and I'll try to do the same with this guy Finn in the second group. Come on, Pogi, I know it's 57 kilometers to go. I know this attack is stupid, but if we relay, we can make some absolute ciclismo, but he's not taking over. He's talking into his radio, but his team is saying, don't pull with Ayuso, because we both know Ayuso is a better cyclist anyway. Jokes aside, I'm afraid that we're about to get caught by the chasing group, so that is very sad. Let's sit in and try to recover again, I guess. Well, actually, people are starting to attack again, so let's try to follow the wheel of Grégoire with Ayuso once again and join this breakaway, but now Grégoire sits up right when I do that. Let's try to attack now because Jorgensen is going and I don't like that, so let's try to follow that move and relay on 85 with Ayuso, but he's putting pressure on Finn at the moment. But once again, Tadej Pogačar with the help of Ben Turner is closing that attack down, so we're back to where we were. Finn go on 85, not 65, otherwise you might get dropped, and there comes an attack by Votzik now. 41 people left in this breakaway. What a crazy race. Actually, it's the peloton. It's not even a breakaway. Now, the next climb is quite a serious one, the Côte de Pay, but I think I want to try and attack with Finn on this one. So there goes Lorenzo Finn. Let's try and keep rolling attacks on Tadej Pogačar, hoping that he breaks. Jorgensen has jumped to the wheel and Pogačar is closing it with utter ease, so that certainly failed, and now the energy of Finn and Ayuso is pretty small, so I think I need to recover some energy. Once again attacks by Votzik and Kostyu, but I have nothing to respond to that. I have nothing to attack Pogačar on this climb. My yellow bars are looking horrible. And with 34 kilometers to go, that climb is done for, but I think I'm slowly but surely giving up on trying to beat Pogačar in this Tour de France. I know the gap was 5 minutes, so I should have given up before this stage even began, but he's completely isolated, so I had to try. Anyway, going into this final climb, the Col d'Huez, Votzik and Kostyu still have a gap of 40 seconds on the group behind, where Finn is about to start pacing for Ayuso to try to go for the stage win. 3k before the top, there comes a move by Finn, and I think Pogačar will follow in the wheel. Actually, he doesn't. It is Jorgensen in our wheel, so let's 99 to the top with those boys, and Pogačar is slowly but surely moving up, but I'm gonna counter this right now with Mr. Ayuso, 1.5k from the top. Finn can try and sit up right now, and Ayuso can try and launch together with Jorgensen and go for the stage win. That said, I kind of want to keep Finn with Jorgensen. To be honest, both our attacks just failed, and you've been seeing buildings past your screen for the last half an hour in this stage, but there's nothing I can do about that. I reckon I'll just put Ayuso in the wheel of Finn and try to go for a sprint, I guess. But first, we have to get over this final bump. Oh, that's an attack by Martinez and Seixas. I need to follow that. Come on, Finn. 99 to the top. Ayuso can go 99 to stay in the wheel. And I'm going to try and stay together with these two boys, so Finn can go 99 into the downhill. I don't think Pogačar was in the wheel there, but we can't gain 5 minutes anyway until the finish. So let's just go ham in the downhill and try to win the stage with Ayuso. Come on. Is that a gap? Yes, it is. Come on. Keep pushing, Finn. All out attack in this downhill. It's 6 kilometers to go, and the last 3 kilometers are seemingly flat. Martinez is right in our wheel, but I reckon we can beat him. Last 4 kilometers going on to the flat pretty soon. This kind of feels like the Poggio descent, to be honest. 99 on Finn. Our gap is 20 seconds in this final portion at the coast in Nice, but Ayuso has 68 sprints, so I don't think we are beatable. Martinez has 62, so that's not great. Finn can launch the lead out. Ayuso is ready to launch right now. We'll try and get out of the wheel. Martinez is so much slower, and Juan Ayuso is going to win the final stage of the Tour de France 2029. Let's go. Like, I definitely tried my best to crumble Tadej Pogačar on this stage, but if there's one man that can stop so many attacks, it's Tadej Pogačar. I'm sorry, but imagine being this French guy, the final stage of the Tour de France 2029, and he's about to finish outside of the time limit. So he did not finish the Tour de France. That is devastating. Anyway, Juan Ayuso is the winner of the final stage. I don't know how many stages we won in this Tour de France, so I'll have to check in a second. But one thing is certain, Tadej Pogačar is the winner of the Tour de France, and we finish second and third. And actually, we do win a distinctive jersey in the white jersey with Lorenzo Finn. Because Tadej Pogačar is old as Okay, I just counted, and that's our 9th stage win in this Tour de France, so we dominated this race despite not winning it. And in hindsight, UAE Team Emirates was so incredibly strong as a team with Lipovic, Del Toro, Almeida as teammates that the only day that we crumbled their team was the final day. We tried our best and Tadej Pogacar was simply too strong. So yeah, there's no shame in getting beaten by Tadej Pogacar. Especially when we don't just finish second, we finish second and third, so 2 GC riders on the podium. If anything, our sponsor objective for this Tour de France, finishing top 3 in GC, should be a super success instead of a success because, well, we did it twice. Anyway, jokes aside, after 56 episodes of this career mode, a wonderful journey, we won the Giro d'Italia and podiumed the Tour de France twice, but there's one Grand Tour left this season and I do want to take it on, so La Vuelta is gonna be for next time. As always, thanks for watching and I'll see you soon for the final 2 episodes of this career mode. Goodbye.